Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, before I have my comments about racism, I want to throw out another absurdity, which is the forgiveness of student loan debt. Those kids who went to college, who borrowed that money, got some benefit from that, and they chose to do that. And we're just going to wipe out that debt. I love this meme that's circulated. They should look at forgiving medical debt for cancer patients instead of student loans. Education is a choice, cancer is not. Makes sense to me. If I had to choose between one or the others, I said, let's take care of the cancer patients who just got, well, but then what's the problem with that? See? That's why I'm against all this stuff. What if you smoked and you got cancer? You see, when you draw the line, you can't draw the line and you can't do it. It's unbelievable. But let's talk about racism. I want to start with this alleged Asian American racism. And I've ran this by 3 or 4 of my buddies, and all 3 of them laughed and said, you're right, I do the same thing. I think this allegation against Asian Americans doesn't come from traditional American whites. Maybe there's some ethnic issue, which, by the way, why don't we have a conversation about how bad the blacks as a group hate the Hispanics? There's always the black gang and the Hispanic gang in there. Blacks and Hispanics have issues, racial issues. Let's talk about that. Oh, it doesn't involve white people. Oh, it's not an issue, Bulldog. It doesn't involve white. Let's talk about black and Hispanic relations one time. Why don't we? But here's the thing about the Asian Americans. Every time I look and I see an Asian American, I automatically think of 3 things. And I don't care if they're stereotypes. You know why we call them stereotypes? Because they're true. The danger is knowing that there's not exceptions to stereotypes. Cliches are cliches because they're true generally. Stereotypes are stereotypes because they're generally true. Irish Catholics drink a lot. See, I can use something that's not them, okay? Can't use blacks on anything. You can tell jokes about any racial ethnicity, but you can't tell a joke about a black person. Asians. I look at an Asian, I think 3 things. By the way, they're all positive. 1, they must be smart. I do. I look at Asians, they must be smart. And we all know that statistically, they do better in math. Number 2, I think they must be very respectful and hardworking. I mean, I look at an Asian, always respectful, hardworking. Number 3, they're a kung fu expert. You might laugh, but I swear that's what I look at. All positive things. Do you look at an Asian and think something negative? I bet you don't. I bet you think the same. The 3 buddies of mine that I shared that with all agree that's exactly what I think. It's unbelievable. What else do I want to cover on this racism? The white guilt is incredible. And don't you just get sick and tired of like Meathead, Rob Reiner and others telling us, the white liberals, white people telling us that we're white supremacists and white privileged? White people telling us this. They fell for the white guilt bullshit. They fell for it. A white guy telling, I mean, oh my God, it makes me madder than hell. Madder than hell. Another thing, this is off topic a little bit, but I want to throw it in there because I think it's relevant. Isn't it fun, or just an observation, isn't it funny that Mexicans are never at the border keeping their people from going into the United States? That struck me. That's fascinating. Another thing I want to tell you about John Boehner, Liz Cheney, and all these other people. Do you know why they say the things that they do? They want to suck up to Biden and Schumer and Pelosi because they're in power now. John Boehner is a lobbyist for cannabis. You don't think for a freaking minute that old John Boehner now can talk to Joe Biden and he can't talk to Pelosi and Schumer and the people in charge to help his clients? It's all political gangsterism. Ingratiate yourself with the party in power. It's that simple. That simple. Last but not least, I would like you to consider applying socialism to any profession. All lawyers have to get the same amount of cases no matter how hard you work. All doctors have to treat the same amount of patients no matter how hard you work. All baseball players have to play equal time. If we took the socialist rules that we apply to little kids before their 1st grade and applied them to every profession or segment of our economy, it's kind of hysterically stupid. I'm going to test a byline for the show too. You know, I have this line, every bulldog, I say every dog has their day. I hope today is yours, which I'm not going to get rid of. But I thought about this watching Planet Fitness in the judgment zone, you know, no judgment. I came up with this nice little phrase, the Bulldog Show. We don't judge, we just criticize. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.